Hello guys, welcome back to The Crew 2. Another week in Summit Paradise. That's where we are. Noob does Summit number 19. So French it's called. That means we only gonna use French brand in this Summit. For instance this Renault Megane RS. We're gonna have to use the Peugeot 3008 Dakar, Citroën C3 WRC, and also Bugatti. The Chiron or the Divo you can use. It is a premium summit, and what are we playing for is this thing over here. The Bugatti Divo Magma Edition. That is the reward. We will have a look on the other rewards in a second. First things first, go to the shop and see what is available from the bundles. So French is available. Let's have a look. It has the Renault Megane, it has the Citroën C3, it has the Peugeot 3008, which you have to use in 2 events I believe. And it has the Bugatti Divo, which you can use in 2 hypercar races, but it's not necessary. You can also use the Chiron. Seeing I only have 255,000 bucks here, I'm not gonna buy this Divo. I do have the other 3 cars in the garage, and I do have the Chiron, so that should be good enough to go. It might be possible that during the week we come to the conclusion that the Divo is actually better on some of the tracks than the Chiron. Yeah, then we have to grant for some money and also buy this thing. So Chic is also available. Jaguar CX-75, Aston Martin V8 Vantage, and the Bentley Continental Super Sports, or Speed as it's called here in Europe I think. That is just something on the side, but the So French is the bundle. If you want to buy that, if you have the money you can. Next up, administration. Let's see where we have finished. Hello gangster. 117th, which is not that bad. Haven't done much on this driver. I think this 1.3 million is actually the score that we scored in last week's stream. So I have not improved anywhere. Was not needed. This was a non-premium summit, so not necessarily needed. 300,000 followers, 50,000 scrap or spare parts. The Dodge Viper GTS. I do think I have that, so I probably are gonna get a refund from that one. And a Street Race Loot Digger set, which has Cold Finder and Lucky on it, which presumably will be maxed out. We will have a look on that. Let's collect everything. 374,500 bucks are refunded to me. That is probably the price for that Viper. The premium summit of this week, the So French, 400,000 followers, a French Touch tire, a French Touch smoke, and the Bugatti Divo Magma Edition. Those are the rewards. Next week, American Muscle Cars, where we can win a drag spec of the Camaro. Not in the game yet, it is a new spec, just as we had previous. The Ferrari and the McLaren in Drift. And the week after that, the Hummer I think. Demolition Derby set there as well, with Bulldozer, pretty good set. California Dreams the week after that, that's where the Hummer comes into play. Monster Edition, also that is a new spec for this game. So the Crew 1 specs coming back into this game. The week after that, the All-in-One, let's have a look. Fame pack, spare packs, the White Line tire, and some green lightning smoke. This is a pretty poor summit wise rewards, but it is all in one. It has the 4 colors, yellow, orange, pink and blue, so it's probably a bit of all disciplines. And come in soon, added to the list today, Brawn versus Beauty. These are not the last summit of this batch yet. We are now on summit 19. This batch of summit goes to summit 26, which is somewhere second or third week of October, I think. And rumors are that there will be new patches coming after that as well. So definitely with some changes here and there. So I expect some disciplines to be altered a little bit in such a way that, for instance, a touring car will not take place on a circuit but actually on the road, or rallycross on dirt roads or something like that. So probably some new track in the third batch, but we will see. That will be the end of October somewhere when we will get that. More information will come to us in the next couple of days and weeks, because it's the end of August. The devs are also out of holidays. They're back at full force, slightly getting stuff together. What we need to get together is this thing here. Collect this. 7 parts, so that will be a full set. We'll have a quick look what this is. And then we are sort of done with the administration, and then we can start. First of all, I need to figure out where my loot digger set is. It's over here. Over here I have a loot digger set which is a bunch of nothing, so we are just gonna delete this set and replace it with the one that we have won now. And the one that we have won is this one. Let's have a look. Lucky 25.5%, Gold Finder 6. So it is indeed a set which you do not have to recalibrate, because it has the perfect loot digger set, more or less. That means that the other ones can go. Which gives us some more spare parts. Yeah, on this driver, not something that we need. Almost 4.7 million I have on this driver. Of this brown currency thing. Not so much on my other driver though. Because there are recalibrated more vehicles and such. So Gold Finder 42%, Lucky 178.5%. That is if you do not have any of these in your pilot menu over here. We also have to collect a bunch of parts. That's for later. I don't need that for street race. I just put all my points here on bucks. Gives me more bucks. But you can also put Gold Finder and Lucky extra points here if you want. That is up to you. Then of course those percentages will be higher on that set. And I think that is sorta it. Yo. And it's raining. Wonderful. So let's have a look. First of all, next week, do we need something? Oh, apparently we do. We need the Camaro it's muscle cars next week, so we need the Camaro ZL1 in street race, which is Icon 200 reward, I think, on the timeline. But you can also buy it, and if you do reach the timeline, Icon 200 or 100, whatever it is, you will just get a refund of the bucks as well. We need a drift Ford. I have the Focus, but more than likely the Ford GT will be the better drift Ford, so I probably have to buy that. I don't have that one. We need the Challenger Hellcat this time. We did a Challenger race a couple of weeks ago, but this time we need the Hellcat. Touring car Shelby GT 500. It is a bunch of locked vehicles that I have here. We need a Demolition Derby. And we're gonna drive that thing on a rally cross track next week. That's interesting. And we need the drag race, the SRT Viper GTS. Wonderful. So we have quite some work to do, because I'm missing 3 vehicles. Although I do have the season pass. So let's have a look at that first. That means that they're a bit cheaper, 20% discount if you have season pass on whatever it is that is in the game. Let's see, what do we need? So we need a Dodge Viper direct car. I don't think that's that expensive, these direct cars. 127,000. If you don't have season pass, it will be 20% more, obviously. So that is something that we will be able to buy. I saw a touring car, Ford Shelby GT 500. Is that under Ford or is that under Shelby? Probably under Ford. GT 500. No, that might actually be the. This is the Street Race 2013 Shelby. So it is actually under Shelby. And we need a touring car, which is this one, 281,000 plus 20% if you have the normal game, so around 300. The other one around 140, 150 something. So about 450,000. What else did we need? Can't even remember. Let's have a look. Never remember. Oh yeah, the Hellcat. Yeah, the Hellcat is also not that expensive. So that I'm guessing around 500,000 for this vehicle that you need here. Of course, if we need the 4GT being the better drift, but we'll see. We probably can do it with the Focus as well. Now we come to this week. We have a Slalom, which is on the water. We have low altitude, which is mainly on the highway. We have an Escape, which is also on the highway. Although you will not be able to travel half the map like last week, I think. We have two hypercar races where we need a Bugatti. The Chiron has a bit more speed. The Divo has a bit more handling. So which of the two is going to be the best? One is the Bronx, I believe. Not even sure what the other one is. Let's have a look. Now we know. This is the Bronx. And this one is Maine, Highland East. Okay. That is a bumpy, jumpy road. The rallycross is Central Valley in the Citroen C3. Street race is downtown Detroit in the Megan. This is here the Great Sand Dune. That's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride. And over here we have Wreck and Havoc, which originally is a monster truck race, but we're gonna do it with this Peugeot 3008 Dakar Maxi as well. Let's first go to, as always, have a look on the skill tests. What is that, gangster? Rain and snow affect the handling. Snow not so much. Snow is mostly a visual thing. It slides a little bit, but it's not so bad. For instance, on a speed trap or so, you can even with a drag car, you can set a record in the snow. The rain, on the other hand, is a bit of a problem. You have lots of wheel spin and such. But I don't see immediate... Oh yeah, I do. This hypercar Bronx is in the snow, which is wonderful. But other than that, this is a night race. This is cloudy. Over here, it is wet roads, which means a little bit muddy on the rallycross and some wet roads on Detroit. And the rally rate seems to be, what is that? Is that the sunshine or is it supposed to be the moon? It's possible that this is a night race and that this is like evening time sun going under or morning time sun coming up, one of those two. First things first, the slalom. It is on the water and then people say like, you can do this, of course, with a jet sprint. Not a good idea. Normally people say, okay, it's going to be the Frauscher. No, it's not going to be the Frauscher this time. Because you have a 180 degrees turn, which is barely, can be taken with the Frauscher. So it is going to be something else. You can try the Proto Mark 1, for instance. It's a possibility, although it also does not take the turn that well. The Blade Runner, if you have Season Pass exclusive vehicle, this thing, pretty okay, but it is a bit slow. So we're gonna end up with the Victor. What do we need? Score breaker set with skilled 75%. We have been doing a few test runs yesterday in free roam. 23,760 I eventually had, so that is sort of one of my teammates 23,766 with the world record. So that's sort of the scores that we're aiming for. Setup of the boat, let's start with that, because lately I usually forget it. This is what I have. The drift assist at 10, weight distribution 0, rudder angle 8, braking power doesn't matter that much. Although we have to take a 180 degrees corner, we will not use the brakes. The buoyance 9, hull friction 9, and trim taps 8. That's the setup that I have. Other than that, how do we do this? Full throttle, lean backwards for most of the track, and on the 180 degrees corner we're gonna go full throttle but leaning forward. So we do the opposite direction. But it's a bit of a problem. There is a 180 degrees corner. If there are other people around here, it's going to be a pain in the ass, because you're going to run into each other 2 times or so on the track. It was a bit too wide. .23.484. The turn was not that good. It was a bit too wide. Let's go faster. Yeah. As I said, other players around here, that's gonna be a problem. They slow you down, you're in their wakes, you're gonna fly out. But yeah, you need at least, if you have a full set of skills with the score breaker, you need at least 23,700 something. Probably not ideal to do this on day 1, because there are going to be a lot of people around here. Also on day 2 at the weekends. Also need another ghost, because this is a bit of a problem. These big ass boats. Difference between keyboard and Xbox controller. I play on a keyboard. The difference is mainly that on the controller you can change the linearity and the dead zone and all that kind of stuff. But it's also something you don't want to do is go behind these arrows here, because what actually happens is you're going to lose a multiplier. So you want to take that corner before the arrows. I have some Prousner Ghost here now, but here he comes into problems. He cannot take that turn here. And I missed the gate already, I think. .23.730, getting there, but we're still a little bit zigzagging too much, and I also need some more speed in at the start. We'll do one more run. We know that 23.760 and 766, we have done that yesterday, sort of practicing. So I lean forward here. Okay, I need another ghost as well, because I actually have trouble with the weights of this ghost in here. If there's another player, just restart, because either you're gonna run into him or you're gonna fly out of his wake or that sort of stuff. 738. Getting better. It's not perfect yet. Sure, lean forward till you see the arrow on that house there. Then you can go up the lean forward and back on the lean. Oh, yeah, I missed that gate, didn't I? Yup. And that's sort of what. The benefit here is that it's on Port Isabel, so it's like middle of nowhere, all the way in the south. But yeah, you see all these names here. You just know that they're all on this skill test. Because there is nothing else here, event-wise or so. Yeah, that is also another problem. What just happened there? That guy hit the plastic buoy. And unlike, for instance, in an off-road slalom, then you only see the arrow or so. Not in this thing here. If somebody in front of you hits one of those buoys, it will not count as a gate anymore. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You want to do this when there is nobody around. Or maybe a teammate or so that you can go, you do a run, your teammate does a run, and so on, so that you're not like bothering each other. Because yeah, you see what I mean? You're just like, people are looking at their scores in the menu and they're just like laying there in open world. This is a pretty annoying feature that they have brought in the game. Yeah, it was no collision in the beginning, but at certain point, somewhere halfway in this summit series, they suddenly changed it, that you can see other players in these kills. Probably has to do with people complaining like, oh, I can't see other players or whatever. Which looks to be pretty good. 736 this time. Let's have a look on the leaderboard, which probably could be good enough for. It's pretty early, about 50 minutes into it. This thing. Yeah, that's as I thought. World record. But this is not good enough. Can go way higher. 752, 755, several times I already had, eventually 23,760, my teammate 23,766. That's what we did in the free roam when we tested this stuff yesterday. So low altitude, that's going to be a plane, obviously air race, score breaker skilled, because also this is a score based event. I'm gonna fly by it because it has a bit of breaches and turns in if you go this way, so we're just gonna turn around and do it this way. Also this is a bit random. Sometimes you have traffic bothering you, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just a car, you can fly over it. Sometimes it will be buses and trucks. Sometimes you will have no traffic, then you can definitely fly in the middle of the road. And over here you can just as well go over the fields if you want to, but yeah, we are on the road now. So I'll just stick to this. And hit a divider, which I totally did not see. You can probably score, I don't know, 45, 46,000 I think some people already have in this test, because yeah, that's how it goes. You can see on the crew hub website what skills need to be done in advance, if you're a bit familiar with it. But you also don't want to go too low, because then you actually lose a multiplier if you touch the ground or so. For like only briefly, but ideal would of course be that you get like this multiplier times 3, 825 points. The more you can get that, the better. But yeah, you see, it's like it's forcing you to go a little bit higher, and then it's also easier to get to 2.9 multiplier. Because if you fly too low, it constantly goes to 0. I think I saw it like go to 0 5 times. And that's not what you want, because if I can do the same run, the same distance, very easy. And what I'm also thinking is that it is a highway, pretty wide. You have lots of room. You don't necessarily need the Harman. You can probably go for the Spitfire, which has more speed, so you can get further. You can just put the score breaker set on the Spitfire, and that will work just fine. But once you have it like sort of hanging and good, it's basically just go. And keep it at 2.9 or preferably 3, of course. But just don't go too low, you do not want to lose a multiplier. $44,200. That will do for now. Can go higher though. But it is not gonna make that much of a difference, I think. Let's have a look. 45.5, 45.0, 44. But summit points wise, there's like 200 points difference. So if you score something like 43, 42, 41,000, that is all fine. It's not gonna make the difference. The difference is gonna be made in the time attacks. Now we go to the escape. Yeah, sort of similar story. You don't want too many people around here. You really don't. Why is this my favorite vehicle? That's not what we want. We're gonna take a dragster, because that's the best way to get somewhere, I think. And we obviously gonna go to manual. The route, haven't totally figured it out yet. Yeah, but those trolls, that's pretty easy to solve. You go back to the summit, and then go back to the skill, and that should solve it. Because then it's gonna put you in a different session. Sometimes you will see the same people come back, sometimes you have your own session again. We go left here of the skill test. Settings. Yeah, the top 3 I put on 10. And these are the rest of the settings that I use. Which makes it a bit... yeah, not so great for steering. You can put the camber on 0, but that makes it a bit of a problem if you do a drag event. So I just keep this set up as well for speed traps or for drag events or for something like this escape here. You might have to slow down a little bit on main corners, but we will see. I still haven't figured out what the best route is, because I think there are a couple of possibilities. We start in 4th gear to avoid wheel spin. We don't want to be spinning out here like crazy. We go left again on the highway. Steer right, try to get into 5th. Get some speed. At this moment it seems to be okay. See traffic in the distance? Yo. Sometimes they vanish, sometimes they do appear. Also, this has to do with players in the session. You want to get at least over 400 kilometers an hour before you actually use your boost. Expand your minimap to get an idea where you're going. It's steer too late. Normally your boost should refill meanwhile. Can I get away with it? No, I can't. The red circle is approaching here always, which is sort of in the towards Washington. If it's dry weather, because this takes place in free roam, you can also have dry weather. 149,000. It's possibility 1. You can, of course, if you can't drive the dragster, you can take something like Lamborghini Egoista or so. But that, of course, is gonna go 150 kilometers an hour less. Second possibility is we do the same route. We go left on the highway. You can boost here already if you want, but it's a bit of waste of boost, because then you have to brake for this corner, then it's like totally waste of boost. This time we stay left. Now we go left here onto the other highway, which makes it easier. Because from the moment you come here, you can boost and stay in the middle in between those yellow lines. So if there is traffic, you can avoid them because there is no traffic here in the middle of the road. But the problem if we go this way is it's a bit sharper turns. Which probably makes it that we will not gonna make it that far. We have to go over this water to the left and then again to the right, I believe. And the circle is going to catch us here somewhere. You see it already appear. We don't have any boost yet. And we're gonna get some more turns here into the swamp area. And traffic is gonna bother us. 11.5. Not so good. Yeah, and here we are. Hello, I drive a Ferrari and I'm standing in the middle of everybody's way and I don't move. Really, people, occasionally watch your minimap. There are other people around you. If you're doing something in the menu, tuning your car, whatever, put yourself on the pavement or on a parking spot. Seeing it is dry weather, let's try one more run. Just going the first route. Need to look like way ahead, obviously. Because we're doing speeds around 600 kilometers an hour when we boost. You want to be looking 100-150 meters in front of you to see what is happening. And also a little bit on the minimap to see where the road is going to go. Because you have to anticipate, obviously. boost as soon as possible. Should refill somewhere on this bridge here. Here we have to boost again to get away from the circle. Trying to avoid that traffic. 13.4. Can do 15, 16, 17 kilometers at least. Which is sort of 150,000 points. This will do. Which puts us, rent list on this driver. Yeah, 16.8, 15.7, 14.1, so yeah. Around 16, 17 kilometers seems to be the way to go, and then you are kind of stuck in the Washington area, more or less. So it might be possible to go the other way towards Dallas. If we can make it to Dallas and you can get to the highway, you might be able to go all the way to Los Angeles, but not this time I think. Don't think it's like a half a map thing. But this will do it. 150,000 plus is always a decent score. And we have that in the 3 skill tests. Pretty good. Anything else we need? No. Nothing where we need manual, so we can switch back to automatic. That just makes it easier. The Renault Megane, the Citroën and the Bugatti and the Peugeot. Okay. What we're gonna do is pretty quickly go over the settings first, then we have done that. I have the Chiron, I do not have the Divo. So on top it's always the same, most of my cars it's like 10, 9, 10, 10. And then these are the rest of the settings of my Chiron that I use. Might stiffen it up a bit on the end, the roll bars or the suspension. Maybe we need to stiffen it up for that Maine Highland East track. Not so much for the Bronx. Bronx is also a little bit of cuts. There is a reset possible there. So yeah, that is the Chiron. What else are we going to use? Megane. Where is my Megane? Yeah, probably in front of the list, because I've already put the parts on. These are the settings we're using on the Megane, or at least I tried it like that, so we will go with that. Here we go. Yeah, if it goes too fast, you can always... I export this also to YouTube, so you can always stop the video there to see the settings. And then we're also going to use the Peugeot 3008, also that. Might have to stiffen it up a bit. We had the fast time in Bayou and in Red Rock when that was a summit event with this setup, so was team job. Might be a team job this time as well. These are the settings I'm using on the Peugeot. And we have to use this on the Great Sand Dune, but also on that combo event on the monster truck race. And what we're also going to use is the Rallycross Citroën. On all of these I just have Nitro Chemist set, pure and extra pump maxed out if it's possible. And these are the Citroën settings. There we go. So then we are done with the settings. Let's see, the boat I've showed already. The plane, what did we use? Yeah, you can use all kind of planes. Probably have to use a Spitfire or so. We're gonna have a look later on that. And the drag I also showed already. So yeah, let's just go start with this one. Maine Highlands East. Yeah, that is gonna be a bumpy ride. We take the Chiron, has a bit more top speed than the Divo. The Divo has a bit more handling, but I don't have the Divo on this driver. So yeah, we will see if it's good enough. if they are doing faster times with the Divo during the week, then we have to grant some money to buy that. For 1.3 million I can still get it with that bundle.
3, 2, 1.
I have the Chiron at the moment, I think on gearbox 8. That is something you might want to change for this track. Get some more speed. But when it comes to the point by the end of the week, it's more than likely there's gonna be a team event. It's a 4-line highway from start to finish. So this is gonna be with a team with Slipstream the whole time. That was too much on the brakes. This is obviously a fast lane track in such a way that yeah, goes so fast that we probably have to drive it slow a couple of times to see if there are any possible cuts or whatever. But this first run we're mainly gonna try to stay on the road, because going into the forest here or flying out, yeah, that is an immediate retry. Because most of the track you're going over 400 kilometers an hour, you don't want to be messing around in the forest. It's gonna lose you so much time that you can as well immediately retry. I'm also sort of trying to remember the track, because yeah, these are not my favorite tracks, because I find them a bit boring. Go to PvP, you have these kids, Maine, High Eastland, Big Land, always picking that track. It's boring as hell. Especially this one is pretty annoying with all these bumps. And Big Land is annoying because it has no corners. Trying to look on the map, I think we're almost there. A few corners. And even in most of these corners there's like barriers which can sort of help you to not fly out. Just in the beginning there are no barriers, I think. There we go. 3:15, that is more than likely a lousy time. It's gonna be, obviously if you do this with a team, it's gonna go under 3 minutes for sure. Probably solo if you have a tuned car properly. 124,000. Yeah, lately we are scoring 130,000 plus in most of these time attacks. So, but yeah, this is if you're just driving for platinum or so, it's not a problem. 41st with a 315. As you can see, people are already going under. But yeah, what I also see is that already now 5 of the 6 people in the top 6 are driving the Bugatti Divo and the Chiron Carbon Edition. The first Chiron shows up here with the time 10 seconds slower than the rest. So yeah, looks a bit that we're gonna have to do for that track. End up with the Divo after all. Here it's a bit of a Divo, Chiron Carbon, normal Chiron. Also, that needs to go under 3 minutes. We will see. Yeah, while we are in that car, let's just do it. This is in the snow. It's wonderful.
2,
Or it has been snowing or something like that. Here we have some AI that is bothering us, of course, in the first corners here. That's the only reason why they are in that race, because other than that we're not going to see them unless we're making like huge mistakes. We're also not going to mess about here in this stupid city thing. We just go right here. We go left and we reset, and then we sort of skip that whole city. While the AI is still messing about doing turns there in the city, as you can see. I'm not a fan of that reset crap. I've been telling the devs to disable the back on track in summit events for like 3 months now, I think. Okay, nice. But yeah, also this is all in all. It has some corners and some trees that are in your way. But other than that, it's pretty much some long straights. Here I just tap the checkpoint. And then go left out of the city. Okay. Chiron does not like snow, apparently. It's sort of cut over the grass there, but yeah, these are also hideous cars to drive. On a keyboard especially. Because like here, you have to slow down while with the controller. They just steer and the thing takes the corner. You can cut there as well, if you can avoid the rock. That's also a possibility. Also here you can cut, you can jump over that little hill there on the left. And here, you always fly out of the corner almost. And then you end up with a 314 or whatever, especially if you're hitting trees and all over the place. 127,000, that will do for now. I'm not a fan of these hypercar tracks. And especially if they're like reset and cuts and all that crap. Like last week Pikes Peak was the biggest misery ever. Also there, we have been fast forwarding that 1,000 times already. We want them to relook at all the tracks and replace the majority of the checkpoints where there is a problem. We'll see what they do with it. They said that they will take it in consideration for sure for future tracks, but we are still trying to convince them to also do it on the current tracks that we already have in the game. But we will see. Which leaves us with, yeah, whatever. Let's do some more annoying tracks first. The Great Sand Dune. We've done this track before with a bike.
2,
BMW bike I think we had to use back then, was sort of like a limited event. Same story here, you have some AI bothering you in the beginning of the track. Very nice. As I said, it's quite an annoying track. Best boat for the slalom, the Vector 340. Most expensive boat in the game, I think.
2, 1.
This is one of those tracks you probably have to do manual to get like the gears going. But it's mainly might be fun, all these little jumps here and there over these dunes, but they're mainly slow. So what you want to do is try to find a route which gives you as least of these jumps as possible. You're cannot be avoided to take some. It's like this is already way too much to the left. I should have come from the right way more. I already lost 5 seconds here now, if not more. He also completely drops dead. This is totally... Also here a bit too much to the right. You mainly want to be on top of these dunes and stay up there, sort of drive on the back of the mountain, more or less. The least jumps you make, the better you will get to the finish. This is might be fun for kids. It's mainly annoying for all the rest. I don't mind a rally track, a proper rally track, but not this jumpy, crappy stuff. Another jump on the finish. $227.9, that is a bullshit time. It is good enough for more than 100,000 points, but what are people doing here at the moment? Let's have a look. 215.0, first place. Whoever that might be. Not so sure if you can benefit from slipstream there. And let's have a look on the combo event. I have a feeling that's also going to be a bit of an annoying event, especially the start, because you're up against monster trucks and they're blocking the alley in the beginning.
3, 2,
So I don't know if we can even pass them.
1.
We are faster normally because these things can only go like... Yep. Move. Oh, all in all it's kind of okay. I expected worse, to be honest. And other than that, it's a bit of a beach run. I'm very familiar with this track. Not. Was a very annoying track in campaign. This is a very nice jump, but it's mainly gonna slow you down while you're hanging in the air. Also, this you can probably drive next to it. Jumps so fun for kids, but not if you're doing time attacks and you're actually driving for a fast time. Also, this one you can probably drive next to the ramp there. That's all things that will become clear during the week. What are people doing here? 143. Okay. That will go probably under 140 by the end of the week for the top scores. Which leaves us with the rallycross and the street race. Start with the rallycross. Not 100% sure if we've done this track yet. We'll see what we can do.
3, 2, 1.
It's American style rallycross. That means that the Joker lap is actually the fastest lap and you can take it 3 times. Okay. Let's change the camera. If you drive rallycross in Europe, there is this like the Joker lap is a penalty lap. It's longer,
2, 1.
but American style it's actually a shortcut. So in Europe they sort of like they have to take it once and they can decide when they take it. But here it's American style. That means we take a shortcut 3 times. Didn't I get that? Okay. Let's try again. You can go left of that checkpoint. Normally it's triggered. Unless they have adjusted it. And it does not trigger anymore in this summit event.
3, 2,
Let's have a look.
1.
Also here, yeah, AI are bothering you in the beginning and also a little bit at the end. Oh no, it counts. You just have to be a little bit closer. Here you can probably wall ride that orange thing. Wouldn't surprise me. And then, yeah, you sort of do the same 4 laps, I believe. Times will go under 125 by the end of the week, I think. Maybe already now. On the jumps, some of them, yeah, you have no other choice than taking them. Lean forward to get that car down as soon as possible. There we are, the AI. Last laps, you're gonna meet them somewhere. Don't even know if you need the brakes, you can probably slam into that wall. 129.7 or something. This is gonna go under 125 for sure. Let's see what the current top time is. 128.7. Okay. In the event itself, if you check the leaderboard, I think the first time is already 125. Can go under 125 for sure. which brings us with about 1.1 million with one event to go, and then also 100,000 points for the bonus for the 9 events. So we'll do that first and then have a look, see where we can improve or something. Downtown Detroit, 2 laps on a city track with the Renault again. Front wheel drive car, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
2,
Don't think this thing has 4-wheel drive.
1.
I do see that they have adjusted the AI, because in the normal, if you do it like in a normal race, you're up against some higher level vehicles and they are bothering you on the start. But I see it's all Renault Meganes now here. Might have to change the grip a little bit. Seen the wettish on the road here. Has been raining. But this thing has like a bad shifting thing. Constantly on the limiter and then you get wheel spin. So you really have to be careful, not just like boost like an idiot, but little boosts. Get some RPM into the engine, more or less. Oh yes. Bit of understeer as well. In the wet. I bought this car like 4 hours ago or whatever. Did a couple of test runs on this track. Sort of made some tuning on it, but slides a bit more when now it has been raining here. I might have to adjust it a little bit. Constantly wheel spinning. As soon as you touch the boost, the thing is like constantly on the limiter. As soon as you touch the boost. You can basically not boost. Probably has too much pure on it or something. No, with a proper street race car, we are doing times in the 220s here, but yeah, not so sure that's gonna happen with this thing. Hot hatches are in general in this game slower than something like a Porsche or a Corvette or whatever. 5th place, 1.329 we have. Let's have a look at them again, the race. 232.6 for Giron, who sort of knows this track inside out. Playing it every day in PvP, so we'll see. Towards the end of, might go under the 230s, but you're not gonna get like under 220s or low 220s like you do with most of the other cars here. Not with its hot hatch. Leaderboard, let's see what are people doing. 1,365,000 over here. So where are we going? There are 3 more or less score-based skill tests. We're probably going towards 1.4 million total score, but with 1.3 million you probably will be good enough for platinum. Of course, more and more people have yellow parts and have recalibrated parts, and it is a premium summit. You can win a exclusive car. At least for now it is exclusive. I don't know what they're gonna do with it later on. These summit cars that you can win, people are spending time on it. People are spending their week trying to get to this platinum thing and trying to get that car. So it makes no sense at all for all those kiddies crying on the forums that they just put it in the dealers for you to buy. People have been playing here for a week trying to get that car, and then you just want to be able to buy it in the dealers. That is not going to happen. You're gonna have to earn this vehicle. If you cannot earn it now, there might be a chance over time that you can get it from another summit, get you like sort of second chance. That might be possible. Or they put it in like some sort of second season pass or so where they put the summit rewards. I don't know. That might also be a possibility. I think they are looking into it, how they can give people another chance at the car without putting it just in the dealers for you to buy. That would make no sense compared to all these people that are always playing to try to win these cars. Then they are basically have been wasting months if you can just buy the car in the dealers. Makes no sense. The escape can go a little bit further. Let's do a few more runs here and there. Let's see. Okay, I also need to make that vector favorite because it always puts me in this. I always have the jet sprint as my favorite for a simple reason. If you're in your house and you want to customize a new car or something, and you have the Frausner as your favorite, yeah, that is such a big boat that you can't even change the rear bumper of your car because you're bumping into that boat every time. Oh my god. But yeah, it's still a mess here. I already see 4 or 5 names here. Nice. Yeah, this is gonna be more a way of like pick your moment. If I open the minimap, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The session is complete probably. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 of myself is 8 people here, and there is nothing here. We're in Port Isabel, which is like all the way in the outbush of the map, more or less. So yeah, there is no doubt about it. They are all doing that skill test. If you see people in your session here, let's give it a go. But too wide on that corner. .369.8. That was too slow. We had 21.7 on the last gate. You just want 2,000 points extra on the finish. If you do not get that compared to your last gate, that means that you are too slow. Because you need the 2,000 points bonus on the finish line, which is your time bonus if you get there with 10 seconds on the clock. But this is sort of what you need, like, yeah. That's not what we need. You sort of want like a one player maybe in your session, and that's it. Other than that, you don't want to see anybody here. That was too late. Too late. I need more speed anyway. 23,736 again. What are people doing here? Oh, okay, never mind what people are doing here, because we have first place. But I know we did 23,760 yesterday, and Lolpocus did 23,766, so yeah. Those are the scores that are possible. We need at least 750. And a lot depends on this turn, which is a pretty good one this time. This is better. 23,752. That will keep them busy for a bit. Because a lot of people are going to score 741, 744, 747. We had it like 100 times yesterday. Let's check the low altitude. We see a Slick with Harmon, a BG, and surprisingly I don't see any Spitfires yet. And surprisingly, because that can actually get a pretty decent score. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, we need to get to 16 kilometers plus. And then we sort of have 156,000 on those three events. And then we definitely need to improve the hypercar races and go from there. Let's have a look on the escape, what situation there is. Let's see if we can get it sorted to finish it up. Don't need to go that far back because we have to brake anyway for that double left corner. Wonderful. Wonderful. Nothing to be seen, and then suddenly they load traffic, and that has to do with the fact that you suddenly have another player in your session, or two or three that appear there. Yeah, also this is like mostly with the skill test. Basically you stay away from them the first 2 days. That's the best thing you can do. Because you're going to have thousands of people that are going to do their summit, and some of them just play for platinum and they show up on day 1 or day 2, and then always going to be people messing about here. More people you see here, more traffic you will have. Unless you get the opposite, and yeah, like this is a problem, you can't even get away here. The fact that we were blocked there at the start already. Probably gonna kill our run as it is at the end. Here we want to get 400 plus, hit the boost, and hope you don't get any traffic while you're hitting the boost at 600-700 kilometers an hour. next lane then. The thing is also, most of us have frenetic and pure on that car. You might actually need some refill here. Need to boost here, no matter what. If there is traffic or not, you need to boost here. Otherwise the circle catches you here. So yeah. But during the week it will all become better. We've done it a couple of times. If this is actually the best route. But it probably will be. Oh, this is so annoying. Stupid trash weather. Your wheel spinning every time you go on the highway. Yep, you see? Another player there, bam. Get two cars next to each other. But it's the same as like last week with the New York one. There were runs there where you had some sort of traffic in the distance and then it... Oh my god. Do you not see me or what, man? Seriously. 3-lane road, they just drive into you like it's a normal thing to do. Look at this. Look at this. Traffic is a problem here. Maybe you can go the left lane, then you can actually see the traffic coming. Might be an option. Stupid cars. Yep. That bridge is also going to be a problem. You take that corner and there is no traffic or only one car where you can go past. Then you're gone here and then you can do easily 15-16 kilometers, more than likely. Let's try a little bit. But yeah, I'd rather spend some time on these skill tests than on this stupid hypercar reset snowy situations. thing is, you can't see where you're going. If there are people in front of you with your names. Okay. The flame might not be such a good option. Few retries and then suddenly you have no traffic, which is now seems to be the case. At least the first corners. Because yeah, you don't have much steering maneuverability if you're doing 700 kilometers an hour, or close to it, 660 something at least. And buses also don't help. Here we have it again. Mr. over here finished his skill test and then he's looking at his course, standing there in the middle of the road, and that's why you suddenly have a truck or a bus appearing in front of you. Yeah, this is also one of those. You cannot do that on day one. There is too many players around who generate traffic. I've done a test run here a couple of times last day. Look at this guy. Icon 11, I'll drive a bike, it says. Sun is also not helping us, must say. Mr. Z-tuned over here. He boosts in the beginning. I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's better to wait with your first boost till this long straight. And then let it refill for a second. I have to lift up there on that corner, that's for sure. Not for this one, but probably for the next one as well. That cars here all over the place. Okay, we have lots of traffic suddenly there because there's some guys sleeping there again. are dead again. I'm gonna post whatever I have. No. As long as that guy is standing there, forget about it. You're always gonna have a truck and a bus there on that position. So that's kind of pointless. Back to the summit. Okey-do. Let's see. Sort of go by what is the lowest score? This thing here. What was that? The sand dune, I think.
Three, two, one.
Was a better section that we stayed up there this time. Go here. Playing a little bit around with 5th and 6th gear. I drove it in manual this time, which already improved us about 4 seconds. But still not good enough though. But that improved already there. Now we still have this thing here. But we don't need manual on that one. We just need to be a bit faster there. Oh yeah, I should have changed that.
Three, two, one.
I need to go back to the summit because I think I have my gearbox on 8. Yeah, so we're gonna put that thing on 9 and see if we can get some more speed out of it.
Three, two, one.
clearing corners. But yeah, it doesn't matter that much. Because this is gonna be a slipstream track for sure. Let's try this one again. Oh yeah, that was a thing in the snow.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, get out of my way, man. Seriously. Okay, guys. Only dare to bother you in the beginning. Way this time. Through the corner there in the snow. One stupid bridge that you can hit. Another fence. Could have been under 310 for sure. But with the handling in this game, I don't think I can even go under 3 minutes. But we'll see. let's see. It's still the lowest scores. Also, this one is not that super. Let's see if we can improve there a bit.
3,
And that's sort of how it goes the rest of the week. You try to improve a bit left, right, bottom, and center. Okay. Got there because there's a wall. Where that counts. Probably go around there. Probably can go next to this one as well. One 53.7. What are they doing here? 43? Interesting. Oh, 41 meanwhile. But yeah, possibly that also is with slipstream here or there. Sand dunes, yeah, maybe. Thing with rally rate, of course, is that you cannot hit each other, but I don't think that will be the case in the combo event. Okay, let's see what happened here. Moved our way up to 6th meanwhile by improving a little bit, and there are many things that still can be improved. 1,373,000 that guy over there has already. So yeah, it's gonna go to 1.4 million for sure when the teams and so come out. That is definitely gonna happen. But 1,339,000 should be good enough, even if it is a premium summit. There will be a lot of people who will not get that score because they don't have the skill on their powerboat recalibrated or on their plane or stuff like that already there. There's already in the 3 skill tests you can get 450, 460,000 points already. So if you don't have score breakers, you are seriously disadvantaged. And then the rest is something we will figure out. Keep an eye on the score for the rest of the week. Other than that, I don't play that much on this summit. This is just to easily show to get you into platinum. The rest I do on my main driver. I think I finished 3rd or 4th in the summit on my main driver last week. But even these kind of scores, what did we finish last week? 117th or something, I believe. So yeah, not to worry about. with a score like this, you should be good to go for the top 3000 to get the Bugatti Divo Magma Edition next week. I will see you guys then, and bye for now.